What I liked about NLP, it was the first thing that I'd ever studied where they went, none of what we're telling you is true.
So what was missing from traditional NLP that inspired you to develop this new approach?
Well, one of the things that I didn't like originally about psychology was the rigidness. Like, think if you go back to every man wants to kill his father and sleep with his mother, every woman wants her own peanut, all the, all the Freudian kind of stuff. And I always thought, well, the people coming up with this stuff are geniuses. I don't think they're right, but and I think they move things forward, but it felt like they believed themselves too much. They liked their ideas and then they turned them into beliefs, which is really the opposite of science. But what I liked about NLP, it was the first thing that I'd ever studied where they went, none of what we're telling you is true. These are models of reality. These are models of how people think and behave. Don't treat them like the 10 commandments being brought down from the mountain. Just treat them as useful ideas, and where they work, use them. When you hit the limits of them, solve them. And I thought, finally, somebody gets it, So when I teach a workshop, I make people pledge that they're not going to believe what I tell them. Because my goal is always that they explore what I'm telling them and they use that to connect with their own spiritual information, which is going to be better than what anybody can tell them. So in other words, I want them to use what I'm saying as a bridge to get to their deep knowledge. The other thing is, as soon as you put into words, when you're talking about chakras and spirituality and other dimensions and planes, as soon as you put them into words, you take this complex, multidimensional, incredible reality and put it in little tiny boxes. And we need to do that as human beings, as long as you don't believe the box is the reality.